Well, it's a wrap for Charles, y'all. Okay? He up out of there. He should have never been there from the beginning because Tia was not ready for a relationship. Okay? But we're going to get into all things Tia, my next act as a therapist right about now. But if you are new here, I need you to stay. Join the family. Okay? Hit that subscribe. And if you've been here for a long time or a little bit of time, make sure you hit that like, you comment, show me some love. All right? Because I've been recapping this whole season just for y'all. Now, in this season, in the beginning, we see Tia go on this acting thing, this supposed gig, which was kind of fake to me. I'm not going to cap. It felt very fake. So let's just move on from that fake scene, y'all. Okay? And so we have Jackée. Jackée, the mom to a lot of us, sister, and it feels like she is very much a mom to Tia. She's been there for her for so long, and it feels like this was a real authentic conversation. And it's interesting because Jackée is actually friends with Tia and Corey. And she says how, hey, in the divorce, girl, I chose you. I already told Corey it's you. And she talks about Tia, knowing that Tia wanted to get out of her marriage for some time, and the competition in the marriage and having to stroke a man's ego. Now, I didn't know that Jackée had been married, I think, 3 times. And the conversation comes up also about balance, okay? One mate being successful in their career, Tia getting acting gigs and kind of holding the family down, and how that at times affected her husband's ego, according to Jackée. Now, do you guys think that a woman can be the head of household financially and not have it affect your husband or partner's ego? Because I'm sure it really sounds like that dynamic is part of the reason they got divorced. That I think at times Tia felt the burden of being a financial person in the relationship. Where's her career fit in? Trying to stroke her man's ego, trying to be a mom, trying to be a sister. And at times I've said that I feel like she people pleases. And I wonder for a long time, was she people pleasing meet other people's needs and forget about herself and realize she didn't want to do that no more? Okay. And I want to know, have you ever felt like you were in competition with your partner? Did your partner change as more money came in, as you brought in more money? Or do you think that balance exists? Can there be a balance between your career, your relationship, your kids, and life in general? Because a lot of people don't believe in balance, okay? And I feel like Tia, to me, is struggling throughout this episode and throughout this season of her life with balance, okay? And we see her trying to figure out, what does balance look like? She wants to put more work into her career, but she also does not want to lose moments with her kids. And we see her oftentimes trying to balance dating Charles and spending time with Cairo. And Cairo is like her own person. Personality is off the chain. She really does remind me of a little Tia. Okay. So as we go on, Jackée and her having this conversation, and she brings up the relationship she has with her sister also, about how they are 2 different people. And I think Jackée is also trying to find the balance between both girls, which Jackée is Jackée, okay? She gonna live her life. She gonna tell it like it is. If she got a problem with you, she gonna say it, okay? She was very real, very authentic in this whole conversation. It was good to see someone from the past, someone to me who really knows Tia, talk to her and be a part of the show. Now I know, Natasha, it seems like she's been around for a very long time. But I've been wanting to see people who know Tia from back in the day, okay, when she was younger, who she was then compared to who she is now. And Jackée gave me some of that. I was like, okay, I'm learning more. I'm learning that Tia has been wanting to get out of her marriage for a long time. I'm also seeing that her and her sister have had some issues, okay, for quite some time, which we all know watching that show from back in the day. But finally, somebody who really knows her, who's willing to be real and authentic and tell it like it is. And I think throughout this conversation, the little bit that we saw, I think Tia also recognizes that she is putting into people, places, and things that may not matter right now. Okay, and one of those people is Charles. Now, I said from the beginning, Tia does not need to be in a relationship. She needs to be in a relationship with herself, date herself, get to know herself, coming off a divorce. Like, the person you were when you got married is most likely not the same person you are in a divorce. When you sign them papers, even post-divorce, you're evolving, you're changing, you're having to get to know, who am I today compared to when I signed those papers, when I decided I want a divorce. You go through different, I think, stages of grief when it comes to a divorce. Okay? And I wanted Tia to just focus on herself. And I think in this episode, she realized that, or, okay, it was time to let this actor go. Depending on what you think, some of y'all think he an actor and it was never real. Some people think she was really dating him. There were some red flags, like him showing up at her house. Okay? You gotta remember, you a celebrity. You got kids. And him showing up surprising you at your house so soon, red flags. Red flags, okay? Now, she has this phone call with him where she's breaking up with him. And we got to see part of it. We all knew it was coming. She dating for the wrong reason. She wants to feel like more of a mom, pour into her kids. It's just not working. Do y'all believe the whole Charles thing anyway that it was real? Tia is an amazing actress. So hearing her on this phone call, I was like, is the phone call even real? Is it? Okay. But she ends things finally. Okay. And then Jerome comes in and comforts her. Once again, Tia to me is looking for connection. Charles was a connection. Okay. Jerome is a connection. What is missing in her life is family. And because of whatever it is she's not talking about on camera, there's a disconnect between her and her family. And as I'm seeing this, different things about Jerome, I feel like it's religion. I think her family is very much a religious family, very much into Christian beliefs, and Tia is not living a Christian lifestyle. Jerome don't even drink. So that told me something right there when she kept saying, it's just a little bit of wine. It's not going to hurt you. I was like, oh, your family's very religious. You were supposed to live a certain lifestyle. You're supposed to show up a certain way. And you have chosen not to live that. And I think some of those family members are like, we don't want to be around you. We're putting you to the side because you are an outlier. And in some people's eyes, that one person who decides not to acquiesce and be a part of the religious undertones and things that we are doing, they become the black sheep. And I think that Tia became the black sheep. And that's what's missing. The family connection, who you can call on, who you can talk to. And right now that person is Jerome because he's staying with her for a little bit. But Tia has to figure out maybe what's inside of her that's missing, that she's trying to figure out from other people, places, and things. And I think one of those things is family connection. She talks about missing her TV show family. Okay? That was a big part of her life. It's on all the shows she's been on. The one she's on Netflix was a family. The one she was on Nickelodeon, she played, I think, a stepmom on that one. Family. Sister, family. The Game. Was it like a family dynamic on that show? It wasn't a family dynamic, but they were on so long, it was family. And I wonder why we haven't seen anybody from The Game come on this show and really be a part of it. That's the other thing that I noticed too. None of her real TV show family members are on this. So something is not making sense, y'all. Is it Tia? Is it the other people? Is it religion? My spidey sense is that part of it is religion. That she is not living the Christian-like lifestyle. So her family is like, girl, we don't like what you're doing, how you're dressing. And if you notice, it was probably was it 2020 when Tia's image started to change a little bit? And she tried to dress a little bit sexier, become more into, I guess, being an adult woman and not being so conservative. She shifted during the pandemic and really started living her life outward. And I think that's when we started to see less and less of her and her sister together. Her sister is a lot more conservative, a lot more religious, and comes from a very conservative foundation in her marriage. And that to me is probably the biggest disconnect between them. But these are just my observations from the outside. It can be a little bit something else. Now, do y'all think Charles was trying too hard? Okay. Was he trying too hard, showing up at her door with that corsage and a suit? Now, Jerome is on his way out. I don't know where he really lives, but it seems like they really don't visit each other a lot, which still to me, how is he the one person you can count on, connect to, but y'all really don't spend that much time together? Tia, it's something not making sense now, okay? So Jerome leaves, and we get this scene of Tia speaking and talking with her friend and employee, aka friend, Ciara and Natasha. Now, it seems like Ciara was really there for her when she actually signed her divorce papers. She was actually on set when she had to sign them and then go downstairs and perform like nothing happened, and Ciara was really there for her. So I see why the boundaries are blurred, because once again, Tia is looking for connection. She is lonely, y'all. She is very much lonely and trying to figure things out on her own. It just seems like a person who is yearning and just like, there's some connection. Oh, there's some connection. Oh, there's some connection. And sometimes that can be very detrimental. But in this case, she has a little celebration to show appreciation for Natasha and Ciara. And now my spotty thing was going off again, y'all, that third eye. So she says she's in a home alone because her kids are over at their daddy house. And I was like, is this another avoidance, avoiding being by yourself, that now you invite the girls over to have a party or a little like breakfasty thing? Not breakfast, I think it was like a dinner, okay? A little dinner thing because you don't want to be by yourself. Is it avoidance? See, I be picking up on these little things, okay? So she has the girls come over. They have a nice little dinner with a chef. They laugh, they giggle, they reminisce about how much they have helped her overcome her divorce and heal and things like that. Okay, nice looking chef. Ciara is boy crazy, man crazy. Okay, every time it's a good looking man, she's like, can he be mine? Can I take him home? Okay, I need Tia to get around more people her age who've been through some hard things, maybe been through a divorce. How do you regroup from that? How do you cope? How do you get back into the dating scene when you have never dated before? Corey was very much her first everything. Okay, so now she's trying to find herself by herself. And that has to be very hard. Imagine your whole life has been about other people. And now it's your time to figure yourself out. How do you do that? How do you do that at 44, 45, in the later season of your life? Is it truly possible? But I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about this episode? I really feel like Tia is looking for connection and is very lost in some ways. And the Tia that we see sometimes on her social media is a Tia that she's used to performing as. But I think in that dark ass bedroom that needs some new curtains, some paint, some bright lights, there is a different Tia. But let me know your thoughts. What do you think about this episode? We are digging deep over here. But make sure you hit that like, you subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. Now, next week, they're going to Vegas. And Tia really going to be anti-Christian girl over there. Getting that peen in her face, being on stage with them strippers. But you know, we're going to be right here recapping it next week. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.